Hello. Oh, hold on. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, great. Yes, I can hear you now. Great. I was just
Good.
connecting my headsets thinking that I might not have power on, but nope, it's working. Hi there. How are you? Nice to meet
Nervous?
so many new faces. Oh, nothing to be nervous about. I don't bite.
Oh, I'm not nervous about you. I'm nervous about all this stuff working for me.
It'll work. I'm a magic maker. I make everyone understand and I make everyone learn. Actually, I love teaching, so I really do work hard at making sure that everyone gets what they need to get. So if you don't understand something, the first thing you should think about is speak up and talk and say what you need to say so that I can help you. Okay.
There's no hesitation about that from me.
That's great. I have
Yeah, a friend of mine is a professor, and he's told me many, many times that he utterly loathes it when no one asks a damn question and then has questions after the class.
yeah. Well, and it's not so much about like if you don't have questions, that's fine. Don't have questions, right? I completely understand that. But one thing I want everyone to know is that the people who ask the most are the people who learn the most, because then you truly get to figure out how to use the program correctly. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to bug people, especially on Zoom. Oh, I don't want to interrupt the class, that kind of thing. So before I even like introduce myself or anyone, since Dawn, it says D Martin. What's your first name?
I'd rather not be used.
Hello, everyone.
Hi there.
Hold on. What's
I am Rini.
Give me 1 second. I'm looking at the roster here, Rini. I'm looking at David. There we go.
I'd rather just be called Martin.
Oh, okay. So like last name. Okay, perfect. So do you know, I'll show you later if you want, but there's a place in the pipeline where you can say what your preferred name is. But anyway, hi everyone. Hi Rini. Thanks for saying hi, Susanna and Cynthia and Shelly.
Hello.
So Shelly, are you perchance in here twice, or are there two Shellys? Because it's fine to be here twice, but I don't know if that's you.
I think I might be in here twice because I'm hearing
Okay.
Everything twice.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Okay. Because I will encourage some people to be in here twice, and I'll explain how to do that. But if you're in here twice, you need to turn the sound off on one of the devices. Okay. So the actual official introduction of myself and of the class will happen when everyone joins us. You know how in the email I kind of talked about this staggered way to join. So right now, I want to speak to the fact that if you joined us here first, it's either because A, you have never taken a Zoom class before, or you have not taken one where you have to do active participation, where you have to share your screen when you have a question, where I have you answering back with different, they're called non-verbal feedback buttons and things like that. So I'm not going to teach you anything about Excel right now. What I'm going to introduce myself, nor anything yet. First, I'm going to set us right in the next 10 minutes with how to participate in the class. Then another group of people are going to join us, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. And then when everyone joins us, we'll have the good old, hey, how's everyone doing? Who are you? What do you need? What you don't need out of the class? You know what I mean? Because I just want to make sure that we all have the tools to start with our class correctly. So, so that said, I just, first of all, want to make sure that everyone has the basic Zoom technology working for you. So hi, Ida or Ilda. I think I'm looking here. Nice to meet you. So I was saying that I'm just going to run through all of the things you need to know in Zoom before the other people join us, before I do the official introduction to the class. So one of the things that happens is that sometimes people have attended. I mean, come on, who in 2 years has not had to do anything on Zoom? You've probably maybe listened to a class or attended a meeting, or maybe even took a painting class where you paint while the teacher paints on screen. But the thing is that we're going to learn a computer application while you're on the computer. So there's this added component of how do you work your own screen when your screen is showing you Zoom? You know what I mean? Your screen is busy with me talking to you, and you also need to be able to do the Excel work on the same screen. So what that means is that you kind of have to share your screen, half of it with me talking and showing you things, and the other half has to be free for you to work with Excel, because this isn't just a class where you watch, it's a class where you participate and do stuff. Does that make sense? So couple of things. The first thing is that when I have something that I want all the class to answer at the same time, like I might want to know, for example, a question like, how many of you have used Excel before, right? I now have many questions during class. So say that I say that, it's really hard to get everyone answering at the same time in Zoom because you can only speak one at a time. So to answer that kind of question, I want you guys to use the little emoji signals that are there. And hopefully you all saw that in the email, I asked you to download the latest Zoom version. If you have the latest Zoom version, then the icons for you to answer are, look at where I'm speaking, you know, hover over the dark area that you see for Zoom, and right underneath you'll see like a bar that says things like mute and video, those things. And as you move further right, you should see one that says reactions. Okay. Now did you guys see that Martin raised a thumb? That's an example of a reaction, but it's not the ones that actually work for class. Let me explain. If you give me a smiley face or a thumbs up or a laughter or a clap, that's awesome. But that disappears in like a second or 2 seconds, something like that. So if I'm trying to see how many in the class know Excel, I want that to stay on. So what I need you to do, there's only 3 things that stay on. One of them is a raised hand. So go ahead and click on reactions and see that the first choice as you move upwards is raise hand. And everyone go ahead and raise their hand. Cool. If you don't find it, this is the time to speak up and say, I don't have it in the place that you're asking me. So Rini, do you see the reactions icon? Do you see the little reactions icon? Okay, can you click on that and raise your hand?
Okay.
It's the bottom choice.
Okay, reaction. Wait a minute.
That's fine. And Anne, I don't know if you can hear me. You joined us, was already speaking up. I'm noticing that Anne, you don't have your sound up. So you might be hearing me, even if I don't hear you. Thank you, Rini. There you go. So everyone raised their hand. See how this hand stays up? So this is awesome because then I'll get like to see the class answering. Let me just try to address Anne for a second here because Anne is not, does not have her sound on. So I'm going to actually tell you the next thing you need to do, which is you need to write when you drop into the class. I need you to write into the chat. So I'm going to write to Anne right now, but I want everyone to write something into the chat. So I'm going to ask you to go look for the little icon that says chat, which is to the left of the reactions. And I'm going to say, Anne, can you hear me? And let's see if she can hear me. Okay, so in the chat, everyone has to say hello or woo, like Martin said, or nice day, or I'm here, whatever you want to say. Just by saying that you are here, I see that you are present, because to me, I see it saying, Martin says woo, and Shelly says hi, right? So you don't necessarily write your name. All you need to say is, hi, I'm here. Hello, how's the day going? Just write something so that I can see that you are present. Okay. So go ahead and do that. Then some people are joining us now of the kind of second group that I said to join us at around 4:25. So a bunch of people are joining us. So I'm going to say a few of these things again. Meanwhile, go ahead and make sure that you have found the chat and that you can set your little hello in there. So Anne, hi, I can't hear you. Yeah. So give me a second while I type to, hi, everyone who's joining us. I'll talk to everyone in a second. I'm having one of our classmates is having issues with sound. Okay, so trying to help Anne, who can't hear me, and I can't hear her. So what I'm using is the chat to try to reach her, but hopefully everyone else can actually hear me speak. And if you need to speak to me, you can hear me now. Okay, great. So that's, yeah, I see that you turned on the sound. Okay, perfect. That's good. So hi, about 4 or 5 of you just showed up. So nice to see you. Nice to meet you. We will do the introductions in a little bit later. I'll introduce myself. I'll get a feeling for why you're here. Right now, I'm trying to get some of the Zoom necessities taken care of. And then I'm also going to begin to show you all how to access some of the items and material that I have for the class now. But first of all, I was reminding everyone that when you pop into the class, the first thing I'd like you to do is to go to the chat and say hi, or whatever you want to say. Maybe you need to tell me, oh, I'm going to have to leave a bit early today, or, things you need to say, fine, go ahead and say them to me in the chat. If it's a personal thing, like I'm not feeling good or something like that, you can write just to me. But when it's class questions, a couple of people here are asking me class questions right now, and I'll answer them in a second. Ilda asked me something that everyone read, and now, Ilda, you're asking me something that everyone else can't read. Or Katie, you just wrote just to me and not to everyone. So go ahead, and when you start writing, make sure that it says to everyone, okay? Not to me. So only write to me if you have to say something, maybe, yeah, it's a personal question, something that's really personal. But if it's what program do I need to use? What laptop can I use to use? Or basic, it's something every single person here needs to know. And it helps because then when I answer, then what everyone has read the question and knows what I'm answering versus me having to feel like I'm speaking to one person only. So I'll talk in a minute about what kind of computers that we can use and where you're going to get your applications, there's going to be a whole variety of choices here. And by the time we're done, some of you will have the program yourself. Some of them will use it online. Some of you will download it. Some of you will use VDI. At some point, everyone will be on Excel. Okay. And it's going to work, and you don't need to buy it if you don't want to buy it. So let me get to that point in the class and I'll explain it. But one point that Ilda did say what makes sense, that is, if you do have 2 devices, okay, so I'm just letting you know, if you have 2 devices, like you have a laptop and you have an iPad, or you have a desktop and you have a second monitor or something like that, the only thing that doesn't really count is the phone, because a phone will be too small to see what I'm doing to then do it on your computer. So the best way is to have, if you have the chance to have 2 devices, I always say that I go to the thrift store and buy an old monitor for, $20, and just with a cable connect it to your laptop. There you go. You have 2 monitors, right? So it's a very simple thing to do, and yet it gives you much more real estate. And also on Zoom, that's going to allow you to have me showing you something on one screen and you doing it on the other. So if that's a possibility, I can walk you through how to do that after class. Let me know and I can help you a bit with that. On the other hand, if you only have one laptop or desktop, one monitor, that's fine. You can still work just fine with a class. But what you need to do, and that's what we're going to do next with everyone, you need to be able to move me sideways, fill only part of the screen, so that the rest of the screen is dedicated to you using Excel. So that's what we're going to all practice now. The first thing I want to remind everyone who just showed up, about 5 of you didn't hear this part. When you go and use the emoticons, the reactions button to talk with me, or when I ask a question, you'll see that a lot of people have their raised hands, that I was showing them how to do that. All the people who don't have their raised hands, please go to your reactions button and go to your raise hand and raise your hand. And it's different than a thumbs up or smile or hearts or clapping. All of that is awesome. I like it if you laugh at a joke. It certainly makes me feel good, like, yay, I made a funny joke. But all those guys disappear in a couple of seconds, versus the emoticon reactions that don't disappear are the raise your hand or lower your hand. So now everyone lower your own hands by clicking again on the same thing. And then the other two that work are yes and no. And yes is the green check mark, and no is the red X. So everyone say yes for a second and then change to no. Now, the reason this matters is because I'm going to be doing general questions. Okay, anyone who has a Mac, say yes. Everyone who has a PC, say no. And it's not because it's good or bad to say yes or no, but that gives me a division, right, of who's where. And these answers stay on. Versus if you give me a thumbs up, it disappears and then I can't like figure it out. Okay, so all of you did hands and raising and yes and no, so you're all good to go. If in the middle of a poll, I'm asking you to raise your hand, I won't notice that you have a question. But if I'm just talking and everyone's hands are down, and you raise your hand, if your video is on, then I get to see you raise your hand, right? But if your video is not on, then raise a little, digital hand, and I'll do my best to get to your question when I'm like done with my moment or my sentence. Okay, so it's not like I'll answer immediately, but I'll get to all the questions. So okay, so here's what we're going to do. I am going to be sharing my screen with you. So the first thing that needs to happen and is that right now when I'm talking, for the majority of you, Zoom is probably filling your entire screen. And it doesn't need to be, maybe you already don't have it filling your screen. For most of you guys, Zoom tends to kind of take over the screen. If so, the first thing I need you guys to do right now is to hit your escape key, which is your top left key of your keyboard. Hit your escape key right now. Just do that. Hit your escape key. And then hopefully what that happened is that your screen, which if it was filling your screen, now it kind of became a little bit smaller. And for some of you, it got really small, but for some of you, it just came a little bit smaller, enough that you can now grab with your mouse the edge of that Zoom screen and just pull it sideways so that it fills only half of your screen. Every single thing in Excel that I'm going to teach, I'm going to show you, and you'll be able to see me doing it when I'm asking you to do it. The only thing I can never show is Zoom, because when I share my screen, Zoom doesn't share itself. So you just don't see me doing this piece. So you need to kind of guess what I'm talking about, which is grab that little edge and move it sideways so that now, hopefully, if this worked, hopefully you are seeing me on half of the screen and the other half of the screen is just showing you your own computer. Give me a yes if this was achieved, and a no if you didn't get it to happen, or you don't know what I'm talking about, or you need help for this to happen. Okay, so if you said yes, then hang out for a little bit. If you said no, then I'll give you a hand. And those of you who haven't said yes or no, please practice it. Okay, and then tell me yes or no. All right, so Anne, can you speak to me? I mean, I know that you can hear me now, but can you actually speak to me? So if you need to speak to me, you need to be unmuted. And here's the 2 ways to unmute yourself is One, you actually go with your mouse to the bottom left of your first left button is mute, and you click on that to unmute yourself. The other one is if it's just a quick answer like yes or no, you can hit your space bar, and when the space bar is held down, you can speak. It's a temporary unmute. You let go of the space bar and then you're back to being muted. Okay. So Anne, I noticed that you had unmuted yourself for a second and now you're muted again. Can you unmute yourself and let me know? Yeah, there you go. Can you speak up and let me see if I can hear you?
Hi.
Hi, how are you? All right. So can you, were you able to move the Zoom to half your screen? Chat. I'm looking at what people are writing. Okay, so I'll help you with the chat right now. So Anne or also Cynthia, people who said no, were you able to put Zoom on half your screen only? Cynthia, I noticed that you also said no.
Yeah, I'm not able to because I'm using my phone.
Oh.
So yeah, that's
Yeah. So if you're using the phone, which is fine, if what you need to do is use your phone, but you won't be able to use Excel on your phone. So you can listen in, but you can't do the work. And I kind of need to be able to make sure that you can do the work, right, for the class. So are you going to be able to have a computer some other time? I know that today you just kind of joined last minute because she was on the waiting list and someone dropped, so I let her in. Are you going to be able to be on a computer for the class in the future?
yes, I'm gonna go get one tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, but at the moment for today, I won't be able to.
That's fine. That's great. So then what's going to happen is the good news, you guys might have noticed that you were warned that this class is being recorded. Now, the good news about this class being recorded is that I will send you a link and the entire class is being recorded and you will be able to review the entire class, zoom up to the places that you need help with, you know, go to the middle of the class where the part that you didn't understand was happening or yada, yada. So if you, in this case, Cynthia won't be able to practice today this, well, you can watch the recording and then practice it on your own. And then always the next day, so today's Monday, so by Wednesday, come back with questions of things you've tried and didn't try and worked or didn't work, okay? So I do expect between Monday and Wednesday, you guys to practice whatever we did and have questions on Wednesday. But in particular, from Wednesday through next Monday, that's a lot of days. I want you to make sure that if there was anything that wasn't very clear, to view the recordings, work on the assignments, and then ask me questions so that I can help you on Monday. I don't want you guys, the best way to not learn is to just gloss over and not ask and not practice. And then when I try to move forward with more complicated things after 2 or 3 classes, you go, oh, I don't understand it. And you just drop the class. Do not do that. I am the most patient, supportive, helpful person, and I want to bring everyone with me. But you need to participate by actually doing the work. Okay, so if you can't do the work for one reason or another during class, please do it in between class using the recordings. All right. Where are we? And Rini, were you able to move your screen so that you see half the screen?
Yes.
Of me? Yes. Okay. So give me a little yes. How about Ilda? Anyone who did not say yes, I don't want to ask one by one. I want everyone. So Patricia, Jocelyn, Shelly, you haven't said yes or no. So say no if it's not working or say yes if it's working. Okay. And I need that with the emojis. So that way, if I don't see what your answer is, then I have to ask you one by one. So Shelly, do you need a hand with?
Yes, my
chat.
Yeah, my chat is covering like most of my Zoom now. And I tried to, you know, to look at the edges to click drag it, but it only click drags the whole thing.
So the first thing about the chat is that you can turn it on and off by clicking on the chat button. So you can turn it on when you want to write or read and then click on it again and it turns off. So that alone should make space. Does that make sense, you guys? You don't need to have the chat on all the time, just when you want to write something. Now, if you can't hear me and I can't hear you, the only way to communicate is through the chat, then please leave the chat on, right? But other than that, you don't need to have your chat on the whole time. Did that help you at all, Shelley? Turning the chat off?
Just my chat, my big chat is covering my chat buttons and my other buttons.
Okay.
So I can't get behind it.
Your chat button is covering your chat button? I'm not sure that I got that.
The chat is covering the chat button. I think I'm trying to find it.
Okay, then that means you have a floating window. So Shelley, then go to the top of your chat window where it says the word chat, and from the little gray bar, you can click and drag it to move it out of the way. Most people have it inserted into their Zoom, so they don't have that. But if yours is covering your chat button, that means it's floating. So do you see the little gray bar where the word chat is written on it? You can grab it from there and move it out of the way or close it. No?
I don't know.
Okay, so plan C, I'm going to be having you guys share your screen for Excel, but for Zoom, sharing your screen doesn't help. So do you have a phone there that you can take a picture of what you're seeing and then turn around and show me what you are seeing so that I can help you? And I see your message that Firefox is preventing you from sharing the screen. And it's not about Firefox settings, so don't do that. You don't need to share your screen right now. You can't share your screen because I have to give you permissions for that. Right now, I don't want you to share your screen. I will get to the point where I need you to share your screen. Right now, I just need you to grab your screen and move it sideways so that you occupy only half of your screen with your settings. So now I had a picture here of that. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to share with you guys an example of what I am talking about. Okay. So look at my screen. I'm about to actually do something that might even be more confusing to you. I hope not. But here's an example. I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to share a picture. And in this picture, what you are seeing right now is me on half the screen talking, and then on the other half, I am working in Google Drive. So that's how my screen is set up, where half my screen has Zoom and the other half has another thing. And my goal is that you have half the screen with me, only I will be sharing an Excel sheet instead of my own face. And on the other half, you'll have your Excel sheet and you'll be doing the work. Does that make sense? So to do that, you need to achieve this where Zoom only occupies half of your screen. All right. So the best way to do that is to go with your mouse to the edge of the screen, click, and then drag to make it become only half of the screen. Now I'm going to share with you a real screen, which is this screen that I'm sharing with you right now. And as you can see right now, I have, let me just make sure which one I'm sharing with you guys. I have this kind of Excel sheet in the way, and then I have something else in the way, and I have something else in the way. And as you can see, I'm right now on a Mac, but don't worry, because we'll be doing things Mac and PC. But what I'm saying is I have many different windows open. Uh-oh, hold on. I'm having an issue with my mouse. We'll get a second.
It's 4:45.
Hold on. I'm having a Mac moment. Mouse is not wanting to participate in the class, so hold on. There we go. I dragged it over. Give me a second. My mouse is actually in the middle of class, decided to run out of battery. So let's see now. No, I'm gonna have to work on that. I have my spare mouse here, so give me 1 second. I'm on the other screen fixing my mouse. So give me 1 second here to figure out what's happening. Connect. There we go. All right, good. Sorry, there we go. Okay, so what I'm asking you to do is that if you have a ton of stuff in the way, to put your mouse, see here on the edge, and just drag it to the side. So I cannot actually share with you guys Zoom, but you have to consider that what I'm asking you to do is grab the Zoom window and move it to the half, and then the other Zoom window and move it half. And that way you'll have me on one side and Excel on the other. If you're stopped from doing that, when I shared my screen, many times the window once again fills up. Many times when I share my screen, it turns into this big full screen again. So you might need to, again, hit the escape button before you can do it. Because it's very different when I'm sharing my screen as when I'm not sharing my screen, what ends up happening on your side of the world, okay? So when I share my screen, my screen takes over again, because I guess that's the idea. Zoom wants to fill people's screens so people see what they're seeing. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and maybe now Zoom has reduced itself. So I'm going to be a little bit of the time talking like this, and most of the time I'll be sharing my screen, sharing my Excel screen, and you'll have to have the other side. Okay, so Shelly, you said yes. Patricia, I know that you can do it. Dawn as well, because they're in some others of my classes. So Anne, were you able to kind of do half of your screen now? We're going to move on now to the handouts and things like that. And then I just want to make sure first that when I do share things that you can see what I'm sharing with you. Okay, so most of you guys have said yes. 1 or 2 people haven't answered, but I know everyone who's new to this class to me has answered. Okay, so I am Susanna. I see that yours says no and Cynthia says no. So how can I help you? What's happening? Tell me what's up.
I just
Oh, Cynthia's-
discovered that some keys don't work on my keyboard, like return, so I wasn't able to
Uh-oh.
do the chat. I'll have to have that fixed.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't know how to do the chat without the return key. So, yeah. Okay, well, never mind. That means you can't write to me. You have to speak to me. So were you able to move Zoom sideways so that you fill only half the screen?
Yes, that worked.
Okay, great. Cool. So now that means that I'm going to clear your answers, because that means everyone in one way or another has answered, or you're in my classes. And so I know you know how to do it from other classes of mine. So I've cleared your screen from all your answers. And okay. Again, and it's not about screen grabbing. It's just about being able to see what I'm showing. But I'm going to actually start showing you what I'm talking about, and then you guys will have to put it into practice. Okay. So here's the first thing that I want to do. What time did I tell the final group to show up? Do you guys remember? I said I wanted 35 more minutes from 125. Okay, so I gave them till about 5 to join us. Okay, so we have a few more minutes. So I'm going to show you how to get to the class information and handouts. What I need you to do, first of all, is to open a browser. Any browser. If you use a Mac, Safari, if you use PC, Chrome, whatever browser you like to use, this is not browser dependent. Okay, so go ahead and open a browser. And this is when you're going to have to see your browser, and then you're going to have to push me over a little bit so that you can handle both. Once again, this is where if you have 2 screens, you can have me on one screen or on an iPad, and then on the other one you do the work. Or if you have a chance to connect another screen to your computer, it kind of helps a little bit. I'm gonna share my screen now, and I'm gonna share you my browser, and I've got a Safari browser page open. Doesn't matter which browser you're using. Let's head over to Pipeline. So I'm gonna go to sbcc.edu. You can also go straight to pipeline.sbcc.edu, but then it's easier to make typos and mistakes. So sbcc.edu is really all you need to do. So go ahead and head over to sbcc.edu and then click on the far left on the pipeline icon. And then sign in to Pipeline. And at this point, I'm sure that some of you guys are doing it just fine, and others are having issues with me speaking and space. So who needs a hand with making this happen? Is everyone able to do this? Give me a yes when you manage to get into Pipeline. So then hit login and get into Pipeline. If once you're in Pipeline, give me a yes. I know, Cynthia, that you can't do it, so don't worry, I got you. But everyone else? Okay, so while you're doing this and while you're getting in, I also want to have an idea in a minute of who has Excel, who doesn't have Excel, who needs it, who doesn't, laptop, Mac, PC, all that kind of stuff. But right now, I want you first to be inside of Pipeline. So I'm seeing quite a few yeses. Susanna and Shelly and Rini, are you in Pipeline? Okay, yes
My
for
screen
Shelly.
is shared right now.
What's that?
My screen is shared with your screen. So do
No.
I click exit?
No,
or-
it's not. No, it's not. I am the only one who can share right now. Like I am sharing
I'm
my
viewing.
screen.
Right. That's what's going on.
Yeah, on the top it says Diana is Musakio's, you are viewing Diana Musakio's screen or something like that. It says in a big green bar. That's my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And on the other side of your screen, you should be able to open your own. So you should have this twice. Me showing it to you and then your own. Are you able to set it up that way, Susanna?
I don't know how to leave it's full screen sharing. I'm viewing your screen.
So first of all, hit the escape key. When anything goes full screen, you're saving grace. You know, I always call it escape out of jail free for anyone who played Monopoly. Escape key is the best thing ever, but it gets rid of that full screen mode. Okay. And now, unless your escape key is also not working.
It's not working.
Yeah. Top left key of your Mac keyboard is the escape key. Do you find it? Or are you on one of those Macs that has the touchpad?
I have a big screen Mac with a keyboard.
Okay, so then look at your keyboard. The top left key, ESC for escape.
Oh, I found a different way I click the yellow to minimize
Well, that minimizes, but then it disappears. So it's really the green button that minimizes, not the yellow.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
the green one. Okay. All right. So then on the other side, you have me. Okay. So once you're inside of Pipeline, head over to student and then student resources. Okay. So click on student resources. So I kind of jumped into this. Where I'm taking you right now is to the place where you're going to find all of the class files and the links to the class recordings. Okay. The handouts and things like that. So once you're in student resources, over here to the right, and let me actually put a little bit of color onto my mouse so you can see my mouse with a little red dot right here. That's my mouse. So over here, do you see Google Drive? So this is a very important place because Google Drive is where you're going to find the handouts. LinkedIn Learning is where you're going to be able to do some tutorials to learn further beyond what I teach you in this class and practice. I'll take you there, not today, but a bit later. And then this is where you're going to be able to, if you don't have Microsoft Office, we'll come back here in a minute. Okay, so right now, let's go to Google Drive. That's where we want to go first. So Google Drive. When you get to Google Drive, it will not look anything like mine. If you've never used Google Drive, it'll say getting started or welcome or something like that. If you use it, you'll have whatever material you have in your Google Drive, but this is not where we're going to stay. Where we're going to go here on the left side, you're going to click on shared drives, shared drives. Let me know if I'm losing you. Other than that, and shared drives, you should see one folder at the very least. You might have other shared drives from other classes, other teachers, but you should see a folder called Excel 1, 2, and 3. And it should be called Excel 1, 2, and 3. Do you all see that? The only one who will not see that right now is Cynthia, because I just let you into the class and you're not officially in yet. And Dawn, you're not officially in the class yet because you guys are on the waiting list. So, and Jocelyn, I haven't talked to you yet. So you three won't see this yet, but once you get registered, you'll be able to see that. Okay, guys? So it's all right. You don't need it right now. And actually, we should be able to finish the registration process pretty soon. So does everyone else see it? Double click. If you see it, double click on it. And now you are in this folder. And this folder has a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Give me a yes if you made it in. And if you're seeing this folder, give me a yes. Okay. So Jocelyn, you were in. Yes. Cool. You got in. So maybe you, yes, because you finished the process a little bit earlier than others. So you're in. All right. Dawn, I know Dawn and Cynthia won't be in right now, but you, Cynthia, by the time you get your computer and all that, you'll be able to access it. And Dawn, you know how to get here because you have taken many of my other classes, so you know this. All right, so when you're in here, these are handouts that I have for you. Oops, looks like I put two of these. Let me remove one of them. These handouts, I will be adding some, taking some away. I'll be changing some of them, you know, things like that as we go through Excel 1, 2, and 3. If you're signed up for all three, there will be, you know, higher level and stuff like that in the future. So this is it though. It's not like handouts that you need to have spread open in front of you when we're doing the class. These are just like handouts that you can use as resources. At some point, I might be putting some things in here for you to actually open and use. The only one that you might need right now, if I finish explaining and you need more support, for example, here you'll have, again, the explanations of how to download Office. I'll explain it right now in person, but otherwise, here's how to download Office. Here's a quick start kind of handout. Here's different shapes that the mouse pointers will have, a glossary for Excel, things like that. So if you want to use any of these, let me do as an example. I'm going to use the class syllabus. So the second assignment is the class syllabus. The second handout is the class syllabus. So go ahead and double click on it. And this is going to basically, it's the official, what this class is all about. So when you double click on it, you can see it right here. If you want to download it and read it and print it, you can. But if this is all you need, then you don't need to do other than just kind of scroll up and down and read it right here. Okay. People coming into class. Here we go. Let them join. Oh, we're getting to the 5 p.m. where the rest of the people are going to join us. Okay. So here you go. It just tells you what the learning outcomes are going to be, how to access this. It's basically what I'm showing you. If you have specific needs for students with disabilities, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, I think I got you the wrong. Okay, I might need to change this a little bit because that's not where my handouts are. I didn't save this correctly, but okay. I'll replace this one with the right one. But anyway, so here's a lot of one-on-one, like this is the syllabus and the main class handout, which you don't need to have in front of you to take the class. You just might want to print this out because you need something. I'm noticing that one of the things here is wrong. I'll update the correct one in a minute. But anyway, so this is the basic handout that if you do need to do something other than read it online, then you can download it two ways. You can download it by clicking on this little icon from here. So you click on that and it'll go onto your computer, and then you don't have to come all the way to the handouts. Hi, Al. Then you don't have to come all the way to the handouts to download it, to read it. Another way, and let's back out, let's go to this little arrow. Another way to download something is to right from here, do a right click and download, but don't download this one right now. Let me actually, one second, I'm going to trash this one because I just noticed that there's a mistake there on the date. So I need to actually fix something really quickly and then I'll upload it again. Which is just going to take a couple of seconds to upload it again, but yeah. Weird, I don't know why I got you the wrong one. It's because the one I have here is the right one. How funny. Okay, give me a sec. I've got to get the right one. There we go. Okay. So I'm uploading it again. So in a few seconds, it'll pop in and you'll have the right one. Okay, I just had to fix that. All right, so you can right click and download and then view it on your computer or print it if you want to print it, because it might be helpful for you to practice when we're not in class. The one that I really want you guys to know about is usually going to be the one that up on the top where it says suggested. It's the latest one that I've always changed, and it's where the class recording links are. Okay, so it's going to be there because usually it's the one that I change all the time. So it's probably going to be here because this is where like the ones I get changed pop up. But if not, they always start with Z. So you can scroll all the way to the bottom. And what you can do here is see that Excel Zoom class recording links is over here as well. Okay, under the Z. So you can double click it from here or from there. And when you open it up every week, by the next day, so if the class is today, then the class takes as long as it takes. Then I have to, when its class is done, I have to download the recording, upload it to YouTube, create the private link. It's only for this class. It's not like the world is gonna see the class or see you. And then I have to come in here, get subtitles, yada yada, and put it in here. So it's probably not until tomorrow morning. So like Tuesday morning or Thursday mornings, you will see here a link for the day before's class. So here's a sample only. This is not this class, but you're going to come here and you'll see a link here after tomorrow that you're going to click on, and then click one more time and it'll take you to YouTube. And in YouTube, you'll see the class that'll say the date and it'll say Excel 1. And you can start playing and it'll be the entire recording of the class. So here's the deal. If the class is going to be 3 hours long, 4 hours long, 2 hours long, however long the class is, I'm not going to have like, it's just a recording of the class. So it's not like I'll have a place that says, here's where I speak about functions. Here's where I speak about data. Here's where I speak about whatever, right? I'm not going to have that kind of thing happening. So what you need to do is during the class, if say it's, you look at the time and it's 5 p.m. and you see at 5 p.m. that I'm saying something interesting, like, ooh, I want to hear this again. Take a piece of paper and write down at 5 p.m. she said something that I want to review, right? So then later when you come to the class, you can see that if the class started at 4:15, 5 p.m. means about 45 minutes in. So you look, 45 minutes in is about right. Yay. Over here, she'll be about at this time talking about this thing. Does that make sense? because I won't have an index. It's just a class recording that from 4:15 to 6:30. That whole thing will be up. And it's up to you to kind of figure out, about an hour and a half into the class, she talked about this thing. So then you kind of work your way into an hour and a half in, and you click and look around here and there, and then that's where my class around where you'll find the part that you need to do. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yeah.
These are private links that they're on YouTube, but only you guys can access them through the link. Okay, so don't worry about being seen. As you can see, it's mainly me and my screen share. Now and then you might see one of your faces here and there, but it's very rare. For the most part, it's always my face. But it's only this class who is seeing these links. All right. So again, in this same page, you see a link to tell you how to get to these recordings. And I have a link about how to use VDI, which I'll talk about that right now. But in case you end up being one of the people who needs to use VDI for Excel, then here's a link explaining how to use VDI. Okay, so right now I'm going to close these windows. And hi, you guys, those of you who are just joining us, I was helping everyone catch up with how to find the handouts. Hi, Al. Hi, Justine. Nice to see you. I know that a few more people are still due to join us, but other than that, looks like we're almost everyone is here. The class is full, which means we should have at least 24 people. But at the beginning of class, no matter how full it is and how hard it is for people to register, there's always people who don't show up and don't drop the class before starting. And so there's always going to be some spots for people to join us. So I have 2 more people on the waiting list that I'll probably tell them to join us on Wednesday. So before I start with the actual full-on class introduction, because now we're all here, any questions about how to get to this place? Is everyone here? Did you all make it in? Is anyone? Susanna, I see a no. Is that because you didn't get here, or is that a no from before? Let me actually clear all the feedback.
I clicked the Google Drive, but it took me to a message that says, "We are sorry, but you do not have access to Google Docs. Please contact your organization administrator for access."
Okay, so did you access it? I don't need Google Docs, in fact. I only needed Google Drive.
Right.
So in the Google Drive, did you go through Pipeline?
Yes, I logged
The
into
same link?
Pipeline, went to
Mhm.
student.
And you
student
click on this
release,
one right
everything.
there?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so occasionally, rarely, but here's an example. When you do click in, you run into issues like this, where in her case, it says you don't have access. So I'm going to put this in the chat, but I want to also show you guys here in the handouts, and I'm going to send it. There's one handout here that I'm going to open up, which is how to access SPCC student tech support. And I'm going to actually copy this right now and put it in the chat. So if you look at the chat, I just wrote this portion, but you also have it in here. And I will send you an email with the same information after class is over. I'm going to send you some links, informational links and stuff. And one of them is this link. And so what I need you to do is to go to during the schedule, 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Thursday only. Okay, so Friday's closed. You can click on this link, not when you're in class right now, but after class, click on this link and you'll be in a Zoom room where you have student tech support people. So you'll tell them my pipeline is not, my Google says that it's not, I need admin support, and they are the people who can fix that. Okay, Susanna?
Thank you.
So right now, it's not an issue because we don't need those files right now. It's just showing you where they will be, but go in there and these are the people who can fix things like pipeline problems, right? So you will notice that I have a folder here with class exercises, which if you bothered to look right now, it's empty. I'm going to be putting in there things as we move forward with the class. Right now, we don't need anything for today. Okay, so this is it. This is a place where hopefully we'll be sourcing a lot of stuff. If you don't remember how to get to this place, the email that I'll send you after class is over is an email with a link that takes you to a recording of how to get here. So that's it. I'm not going to send you the class recordings and all that. I'll send you a recording of how to get here. And then it's up to you to get here, to look for the handouts, to look for the class recordings and all of that every day. Does that make sense, you guys? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now I'm going to close this, stop this share. Cool. Now, here we go. All right, so now that I've done all of the not so fun, but necessary part of getting us all onto Zoom up and running, and everyone except for Susanna, who's having issues with Chrome, with her Google, you all kind of know where to get to the handouts. It's time to actually say, welcome to Excel 1. Everyone is here. And yay, thank you, Martin. Hopefully it's a party and hopefully you learn a lot. So Excel is one of the most useful, truly useful applications there is out there today. I am a graphic designer, photographer. That is my actual training, my actual skill, what I do aside from teaching. And yet, so I'm a very graphic, visual, definitely not a numbers person. And Excel has saved my life again and again and again. For everything under the sun, everything from invoicing, budgeting, figuring out, you know, how to the costs and the expenses and the profits and everything involved in taking on a job or not taking on a job, for doing rosters, for just putting grades on people for their classes, for I used to, when my kids were younger, I was like the classroom mom, and I'd have lists of all the people's contact information for when we needed volunteers to come and help with a field trip or whatever. So I remember once I was charting, my mom was having issues with blood pressure, and I began to do a little chart of when it was going up and down, so she could visually see how she was doing. So there's just so many things you can use Excel for that you never thought of before. So it's truly an essential program. How many of you have ever used Excel before? At any level, just you've used it before. If so, give me a yes. Okay. And if you're waving your hand at me, that's fine. But I want to make sure that we all get like little levels of yeses. So everyone here has used Excel before a little bit, except for Rini. Have you used Excel before? I'm not seeing a yes or a no. So I hear that you're saying yes. Go ahead and if
Yes.
you can. Okay. So now, all right, so I've got yeses from everyone. All right, good. How many of you now then, I will bring that down, and it's fine if you hadn't, because this is a, level 1, 2, 3. So this is level 1. That said, when I know how many people know or don't know something, then I can spend more or less time of more of the basics or less of the basics. So those of you who've used Excel before, how many of you feel really proficient in it and you're just waiting for the class to move forward to the advanced things? And it's, go ahead and say yes, if you are really comfortable with it. Okay. So 2 of you guys, 3, 4 of you guys feel really comfortable with it. Okay. How many of you guys used it, but like Martin said, he used it years ago and needs a refresher? You kind of know that you've used it, but not really. You couldn't like create something on your own without a lot of support. So those of you guys, give me a raised hand. Okay, instead of saying yes for the second question I just asked, give me a raised hand if you are one of the okay, I've used it, but I'm pretty clear that I wouldn't really know what to do with it if I were truly left on my own, that kind of thing. Okay, so if you're in that situation where you can kind of do a couple of basic things, but not much beyond that, give me a raised hand. Okay. if you are someone who just maybe took one class and completed maybe 8 hours of work on Excel or used it so long ago that it's changed so much, then give me a no. Like a very, very basic use of Excel, give me a no. So that's the little red cross. Okay. And then some of you are not answering. So Patricia or Jocelyn, can you please try to give me answers so I can gauge the class's needs? Okay. So how are you doing with Excel? Because Patricia, I know you in so many other classes, for example, but I don't know how you're doing with Excel. I know you through Photoshop, through Mac, through other stuff, but I need to know what you feel about Excel. If you feel comfy, it's a yes. If you know that you know a little bit about it, but you're not too comfy, that's a raised hand. If you're really basic, because it's been so long that you've kind of forgotten most of it, although you think you know some of it, that's a no. All right. Okay, good. That's a yes. Rini, how about you? Where are you at? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes. It's the first time I joined with you, but before I joined with Mr. Wong for
Oh, yeah.
XP.
I love him. Vince and I love each other tremendously. We both call each other rock star teachers. So I'm so
Yes.
cool. So if you were with Miss Vince, you probably, so did you do Excel 1, 2, 3? What did you do?
Excel 3.
Basic spreadsheets. Oh, you did Excel 3. Okay.
Yes.
Had you done 1 and 2 as well, or did you
And
kind of
then-
start with 3?
Not yet. This is I took the Excel 3, and then so now I join with you.
Yeah.
Excel 1, and then for the next Excel 3, Excel 2.
Okay, that's great. Well, you kind of, you're brave because, you know, if you jump into 3 knowing nothing, it's like, it's really confusing. If you kind of start from the beginning, and now you'll get some of that
Yeah,
foundation.
it's because
Okay,
it's,
good.
I was late when try to Excel 2 in class, Mr. Wong, and then so Excel 1 too. Okay, if like that, just to complete just my Excel. So after join with Mr. Wong, so I
Yeah.
join with you.
All right, well, that's good. It's fine. Sometimes schedules don't work out and you need to do them in different orders. But this is the kind of class, some classes that I teach, you can take them in any order. Excel is kind of one of those where you kind of need to build up upon. So hopefully. Now, Anne is saying something interesting there, which is I taught myself how to do cash reports and a list of numbers, and that's it. So some people know some things really well, like maybe Anne has that down pat, like she's the expert at doing that, right? But it's when you move into something else that you're like, oh, I didn't know you could do Excel for these other things. Some of you have done things that are really advanced. I've met some people who have done some really advanced things because they've gone to work and work has shown them how to do this one very advanced thing or 2 very advanced things. But that's it. Like you had it kind of preset for you and you've got like some really intense lookups and things that you do, and then that's it. But just like starting from 0, you wouldn't even know where to start, right? But you're trained to do a couple of things, but then it's many times the whole sheet has been set up for you and has been prepared, but it's the different than really understanding how Excel thinks and being able to start from 0. So it's possible that that's another place where you're at. Okay. Those of you who are feeling really comfy and advanced, can you give me an idea of what you've used Excel for? Like, what's your expertise? What's your background? So anyone who said yes, can you give me a little bit of background? And then I'm going to ask you guys, what do you hope to learn? Or are you just here because you want the certificate and you don't think you'll learn anything, but hey, you need the certificate? Like what's your, because hey, there's people in every level here and there's people in all interests and needs, or you can even answer, I didn't even know there was a certificate. Oh, how cool. Like, where are you at?
I have a blood pressure Excel sheet, and I have a running Excel sheet, and they're rather basic and elementary. And when I used the same sheet for years, but then when I have to get a new sheet, I forgot everything about putting it together. And there is a way, I remember when I first got the computer years ago, there's a way to go from XLS to OBD or what's the, and OBD back to XLS?
Oh, yeah, open, yeah, I don't know the name, yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like
to-
open office, but I don't know what open spreadsheets
you
or
can
something, yeah, I
take
don't know what the
a-
name is.
an iMac spreadsheet and make it an XLS, or you
Yeah.
can take an XLS spreadsheet.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah,
did
got
that
it.
one time 10 years
And
ago,
got-
and I couldn't do that again.
Okay, that's great. By the way, I love it that the example I gave for my mom happens to be one that you were using now, which is the blood
Oh,
pressure
yeah.
sheet. It's like, yeah, when you have, an illness of the kind that's kind of constant, you need to track to see how you're doing, diabetes, whatever, you might want to register those things somewhere. And now there's apps, people have apps everywhere. But before those things existed, the only way was to track it with Excel, right? So yeah, so that's cool. Thanks for sharing that. I'm noticing that Cynthia wrote just to me, and you guys can't see that, but she's on her phone. So I just want to mention that she says that she took a class in 2016 for accounting and booking. And so Excel, of course, was part of that. So that's not so long ago. The program hasn't changed that much. So that'll be a good background. Let's see. Excel, Rini was saying that she used to be a teacher and Excel was helpful. Oh God, the only way to do grading is with Excel. I couldn't imagine otherwise. So yes, I agree. Katie, you're mentioning work and finance. So a little bit more like for your own self or for a business or with spreadsheets that are already created for you, or do you create them yourself? What's your...
It'll be easier if I mute. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
do open balance reports for my clients because I do AP and AR for my job. So I kind of
do
just
what?
have
I'm sorry?
to, I do accounts payable and also accounts
Okay.
receivable for my job.
Okay.
So it's always referencing invoices.
Yeah, so you must use Excel quite a bit. And so I'm just actually writing that. And so what do you have the experience? I just took a note. Do you have experience setting up the things yourself from scratch, or do you work with like pre-made templates or things like that?
I usually do it myself, or because I use QuickBooks, so I can usually export it just easily. I
Okay.
used to be able to do pivot tables, but it's been so long, so I kind of forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. So you might be able to help me. You and my assistant here in class, Katie. So that's great to know. And there's going to be people here for whom all of this is like every morsel is new, and people for whom a lot of this is just kind of, I just want to see the updates, the new stuff, and that's fine. If you're getting to, if you know that that's, because we're in Excel 1 right now. So if that's your situation and you still need to take the class because you want to get the certificate versus just the learning. First of all, there's always something you can learn from people who you've done it one way always, and you go, oh my God, I didn't know this would be so much easier. Like when you hear someone teach it to you, you're going to get golden nuggets here and there all the time. But then also be patient, bring in your higher level questions to me, and I'll do my best to answer as we speak without getting other people lost. I'm happy to do that. And then slowly we'll catch up to your needs as we move through the classes. Okay. Now, one last thing, when you take these courses that I haven't really finished saying before, these are courses that you can take just because you want to learn or because you want the certificate. So if you knew about the certificate and you're here because of that, that's awesome. If you did not know, then there are 3 classes in order to get the complete certificate, which is Excel 1, 2, and 3. And the way these classes operate is that they are graded, but don't panic. There's no exams, and it's not a number grade. It's just pass, no pass. So let me tell you what it takes to pass versus no pass. And one of them, especially tempting for the people who know quite a bit, one of the ways in known credit where you do need to do is you need to be present for the class. So you need to, attendance is a big portion of it, and participation. So if you know everything I am talking about and you're just sitting there kind of like bored to death, maybe you can help participate with answers on the chat and things like that, or you can work when I give examples on tutorials where you can advance and move forward. You can maybe look into those things. but kind of keep an ear out for those golden nuggets that I'm talking about. Do the exercises that as I'm doing them. And at some point, there's in those exercises things that you'll be learning, but you still do need to be present. If you're going to miss a class, you might be tempted to say, well, I'll just watch the recording. Here's the problem. These classes are free only because the state pays us based on people who attend class. So if you just don't come to class and watch the recording, then after a couple of missed classes where I don't hear from you, I need to drop you from the class, even if you know the subject matter, because I can't give you attendance and say that you know it if I don't see you doing the work. Does that make sense? Because there are no exams. So if you need to miss a class, you gotta go to the doctor, you only can take half an hour off to leave early or something like that, or something happened and you're gonna miss a class, then you have to make it up by watching the recording, but also you need to let me know. And if possible, sign into the course. So say that you have to go to the doctor and you can only listen to half an hour, listen to that half an hour, sign in for half an hour, sign in for 15 minutes, then go to your doctor, come back for 15 minutes, that's fine. But if you sign into the class and you watch the video, then I can give you attendance for that day, because then you know you have the knowledge, but you signed in. But if you don't sign in at all, you're in New York and you're, looking at the Statue of Liberty, so you're completely not even like in tune to it, then yes, for one day, watch the recording and then just miss that class and you have an absent for that. But you can't miss more than 2 classes in a class this short before you have to get dropped, and I can't give you a pass, and you need a pass in all 3 classes in order to be able to get the certificate. Okay, so that's kind of the rules. And that said, hopefully you'll all get something out of every class and be able to participate in a way that that is meaningful enough for you that it's worth it. Justine is sharing that you've used it for mail merge, for tracking and adding columns of figures, and still intimidated by formulas. Well, yay, we're going to start working on making your own formulas. And that's typical to be at the place where you use some of the basic auto functions and formulas, but then when you want to create your own, it becomes like, whoa, that's like another step, right? So we're going to get to that step. You'll be able to figure out how to create your own. But the basic thing to create your own formulas is to actually really get the basic stuff that I'm going to teach, like the next couple of classes where I'm really telling you how Excel thinks. That's actually what's going to help you the most when we get to the future classes where things are more advanced, because you'll be able to really understand what Excel does with its referencing and stuff. And then when you get to the formulas, you'll be like, okay, I got it, because you'll get that kind of basic understanding of how to work with Excel in a way that's meaningful. And then you can put your own formulas together. All right. So these beginning classes are actually pretty useful in being able to not just automatically put in a formula, fill in stuff, and know that Excel does magic, but able to understand how that magic happens so that then you can create your own more advanced things. All right. So perfect, Justine, perfect place to be. All right. Did I miss on anyone's chat comment that that I didn't speak to? I think I was looking back really quickly. You took a class. Yeah, I read that one. Okay. So anyone else who wants to share if there's any particular skill you're looking to get out of these classes, like any specific thing that you need, or.
Hi, yeah, my name is Aris Pelhaso. It's my first class,
Hiya.
and I know the basics of Excel. I would say I'm pretty proficient. I do use it a lot in my work. Just creating reports. Getting the top needs from a report that I exported, but I am looking to to learn more about pivot tables and how to use pivot tables, where to put what, and definitely just shortcuts. I want to learn shortcuts, formulas, create formulas and all that, because they give me a template, but I don't know how to actually create my own formulas. Yeah, and I'm learning too. I want to learn pivot tables for number 1 for sure.
Cool. Well, here's the thing. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Isabel. And we're not going to get to pivot tables until Excel 3. right? But you know, you kind of, these are called 1, 2, 3, but basically assume that you'll be doing Monday, Wednesday for the next, you know, few months, and you'll get through to it. So you'll get to pivot tables. And by the time you get to pivot tables, because of the stuff that you'll be learning about first, you'll be doing formulas and functions, that all of that will be in your head. So when you get to pivot tables, it'll all just make much more sense and you'll have a much better understanding of it. What you've mentioned is typical story of working with pre-made templates, right? Where you can do a bunch of stuff and you know where to put in the right numbers and where to pop it in, but just kind of thinking it through to do it yourself is like, I don't even know where to start. So I'm going to start us with really basic stuff, because my goal as a teacher always is, I don't just cover material to feel like I've given you all the material. My goal is that which I've taught, you know how to do on your own. So I don't want you just to follow an exercise where you get told, put this here, put this there, put this there, because yay, everyone can be successful if the sheet tells you exactly what to do. My goal is to teach you how to do it and then kind of let you figure it out. If this has to be added to this, what would you do? And then, you know, push you through to figure out yourself with what you've known as to what to do. So what you're not going to see from me are assignments that are 1, put this number in cell A, B, put this number in cell A, C, write this and this, boom, you got your answer. Yay, you made the assignment correctly, but you have no idea why you did it. So that's not how I'm going to teach you. Okay. There's just different points of views, but that's how I like to do it. I like you to learn to do it for yourself, because then when I've just taught you how to add, you know, 2 belts plus 2 hats, in the future, you'll be able to, on your own, add your 2 gizmos plus 2 whiz bits and do it yourself, right? Versus follow the steps. So hopefully this works for everyone. And those of you who have more experience, use your experience. I welcome you to use your experience to bring in extra questions and ideas. So if I'm showing something, you go, oh, that's kind of like what I did when I had to do this or that. And then you'll share with us real world examples of how you use this. I'd love that, because people love to really know why they're learning something. And you'll go, oh, so when I do this, it means like that, and that kind of thing, right? So that's great. I hear what you said, Martin, and I'll do my 100% best to honor that request, but please remind me the way you just did, and I will, with all my heart, do my best. Okay. All right. It's time for a break. This is a relatively short class. On my long classes, I give a 15-minute break. This is relatively short, 4:15 to 6:30. So I'm going to give us a shortish break, especially today when a lot of you guys joined, you know, a shortish time ago. So I don't want to give us a 15-minute break. So is everyone okay with just a little 5-minute break right now? Yeah.
Yes.
And within this 5 minutes break, you know, clear yourself up. In the future, I'll give us more like a 10-minute break. But I want to move forward with getting us on Excel. All right. So I'll see you guys in, let's see, it's 5:33. So at 5:38. 38:39, because it's up. It just changed to 5:34. So at 5:39, we'll be back. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Welcome back to the shortest break on earth.
Diana,
Yay,
I
here we
just
are.
want I just want to share, I got my book.
Oh, Patricia, put that up again. Oh, how cool. So let me just pin it so people see it better. Move it a little bit higher up. There you go. So Patricia's been taking a lot of my Photoshop and digital design techniques classes and stuff, and she's been working on a book for a while, and that is so cool to see it. Yay.
So happy.
So guess what? When we are back in person classes, please bring it so that I can see it. Flip over a couple of pages, show us, pick up a couple of pages. Wow. How cool is that?
I am so happy. I made some errors, like I forgot the margin and 2 pages, but that's okay. I mean, it's my first one.
I am so proud of you. I'm so excited. Yay, awesome. It's like a little baby was born. It's been a while. You've been working on it for a while.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm so happy, so happy. I love seeing how things come to fruition. Okay. The other day, I received an email from someone who I hadn't heard of in 10 years. And he just wrote to me about his progress and how he started in, I believe, probably my Photoshop class. And then he took the design classes, and then he went to City College to the credit finish, and now has his business doing marketing and design. I mean, it was so cool. I like to know your path. So if in the long future you go back and go, you know, when you taught me pivot tables, now I am a financial. I'd love to hear that. Or not even that. When you say I took your class and then I never used it for anything else, but I learned how to take a class online, you know, it's like, I just kind of like really like it. I've taught here. Oh, so let me introduce myself, because I said, let's do the introductions. And then although you guys kind of gave a little bit of your introductions, I haven't yet. And it's harder on Zoom to have everyone go around and tell their stories, but you're welcome to, when you share, for some reason or another, give me an idea of your needs and wants. But I have been teaching for 24 years at this point, I believe, or 5. Yikes, time flies fast with COVID. It's been like a weird space where I can't even imagine how long it's been, basically since I left college. I'm from Argentina. So if you need to see my name, say it whichever way you can. But the way I say it is Diana, because I say it in Spanish, because that's how I like my name to be pronounced. And I came here to this country to go to Brooks when Brooks was a really good photography school. And I graduated here. I had done graphic design in Argentina, and then I stayed here working as a designer, graphic designer, and at school, I used to help in the computer lab for people to use Photoshop. And next thing you know, I began teaching it at City College. And 25 years later, I still teach whole bunches of computer applications. I love teaching. My first job at 14, I was teaching people in Argentina how to speak English. When I got here, I was people teaching here how to speak Spanish. And then I started teaching computers. So I'm a teacher at heart. And I can teach even Excel, which I swear to you, numbers are not my thing, but I love Excel because it helps me with those things that are not my thing, which is organization and numbers and material and data and all of this stuff. If it went for Excel, I would have no idea how to do it. I am amazed by my husband and my kids, who you throw out some numbers and they just go boom, and they give you the answer. I cannot do that. I am a visual person, so Excel helps me figure this part of the world out. So anyway, that's me. And hopefully you're gonna enjoy the class and learn a lot. If you have any issues with the class, something's not working for you, please email me, keep in touch with me, let me know what is or isn't working, what you need. Just stay in touch, and that really helps. So Shelly is mentioning that all you see is a black screen.
Yeah, I haven't seen I just see everyone's names, and I haven't seen you on the video in a while. I see myself, but that's all.
Okay, so there's a place where you can change your views. So in that place where you see those black screens, go see if on the top right of that window, Do you see the most corner top right of that window? Do you see something that says view? Or
Yes.
So see if you can change when you click on view, you can change to speaker or to gallery. Does that flip doing that? Did it change anything?
Yeah, I have the speaker view, but it's just a big black screen.
And when you switch to gallery, go ahead and switch to
Yeah.
gallery.
It's
And now you see a
5:45.
lot of, do you now see a lot of black screens? Or do you
Yeah,
see us?
the only one I see is an image for Cynthia, and then
Well,
me, and then
I am
just-
thinking that
I don't
this-
know.
that might be, and I'm not sure, but that might be an issue with your graphics card, having an issue with videos. Can you, turn off your video and see it, turn off your own video and see if that helps you. Zoom takes up a lot of power, energy, and if your Wi-Fi is fluctuating, it's possible that the first thing that goes are the images. Is that any better now that you've turned your video off?
No.
Not yet. Well, the most important thing would be if I share my screen, let me share my screen and you tell me whether are you able to see that. I need to share a different screen here. Are you able to see my shared screen right now?
Yes.
And you see
now I see it.
not a black thing, but you see a video and stuff like that? Okay.
Yes.
So that's fine because that's what matters most. What you need to see is what I share. My face or people's faces, it's okay if you don't see us. We're all cute. We're all nice. Just as long as you see Excel, that's all that matters. The last option would have been for you to sign out and sign into the class again. But as long as you can see what I share, then that's all I'll need to do. Okay. All right. Yeah, Martin's mentioning how they got in trouble by doing long division and not showing their work. And I assure you that's the trouble my son is going through right now. He hates showing his work. He's like, I got the answer. And now
Why do I need to write it down? It's just extra work.
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't even know how to write it down. I use Excel, so I can't even begin to show my work. I know how Excel works. All right, guys. We're going to start with figuring out how to get Excel for everyone. First of all, I'm going to clear your answers. Oop. Cynthia, do you have a question? I see your hand is up.
No, it's been up since like
It's from there from before.
Raise our hand.
All right, got it. So I just cleared everyone's feedback. So now no one's answers from before are up. And I need to know, first of all, big division. Who's on a Mac? If you're on a Mac, give me a hands up. Who's on a PC? Give me a yes. Who's on a Chromebook? Give me a no. And if you're on something else, like Cynthia right now is on the phone, then no answer is fine. So hands up for PC. No, hands up for Mac. I'm sorry. Hands up for Mac. Yes for PC. No for Chromebook. Okay, so yes, we are all cute, aren't we, Justine? We're as cute as we think we are. All right, so hands up for Mac. Yes for PC, no for Chromebook. All right, so that's what I need to see right now. Anne, what are you on? PC, Mac, or Chromebook? Oh, Lucille, let me see. Lucille, I need to find you on the roster. What's your last name? I do not. Hold on. Excel. I have the wrong roster in front of me. I have the Mac roster. I don't see a Lucille on the roster. So who are you? Oh, there you are. Hinojosa. Okay, here's the thing. I didn't mention it because most of you have it, and I'm noticing with Anne, I didn't fix that. I need you guys to have your last name because then I can find you on the roster. So I'm going to actually rename you, Lucille, and I'm going to write your last name there because that's how later I'm able to keep track of attendance. And Anne, are you Anne Troy? Because there's another Anne. Are you Anne? No, the other one is an Anna. So I guess you are Anne Troy. So I'm going to go ahead and write Anne Troy. Is that correct? Everyone else seems to have their first and last names on, so that's good. Rini, okay. So Anne, if you were there you can hear me. Did you do, are you on a PC or on a Mac or on a Chromebook? And Lucille, are you on a PC or on a Mac or on a Chromebook? So Anne, you're on a Mac. All right. Rini, you're fine. Your name is on PC. Okay. So in order to answer these general questions when I want to see everyone, make sure to go to the reactions. And in the little reactions icon that shows up at the bottom, that's where you get to raise your hand or say yes or no. If you don't see that reactions button, it's probably you have an older version of Zoom and I can tell you where to find the buttons. But Lucille and Anne, can you try to go find those buttons so that once you find them in the future, you can answer? Good. Now Anne found it. Lucille. Okay. The thumbs up that you're giving me right now, Lucille, is cute, but it disappears in 3 seconds. So right underneath that, you should see the raise hand and the yes or the no. Do you see those? Because if you don't see them, see, that's the clap. Those are, you probably have the old version of Zoom then. Do you not see the raise hand in the same place, like right at the bottom of those choices? The clapping and the thumbs up and the smiles, all those disappear in a few seconds. And so if you don't see them, can you speak to me and I can point to you where you might find them, or can you unmute yourself to speak up? Nope. All right, so you need to update. Okay, so then where you find it, let's go to the participants button. So go to the bottom where you see all the buttons, click on participants. When you click on participants, at the bottom of the participants button, there you have your little blue hand for raising your hand and the yes and the no. Can you check and see if you can find them there? Yay, cool. That's where they are for you. And then other than that, you can raise your hands, but if not, that's where you'll find your yes, no, and raised hands. Okay. All right. Now everyone has answered, and I'm noticing that Cynthia, you mentioned that you're going to go get a computer. Do you mean from school? If so, you're going to get a Chromebook. Is that where you're going to get a computer from for the class?
Yeah, that's where I'm planning to go. From room 20.
So then you're going to get a. So yeah, so then you're going to get a Chromebook. Okay. So so then go ahead and give them a little no, because you're a no, because you'll be a Chromebook in the future. All right. And that's the 3 choices. So here's the thing. I'm going to take a screenshot of this because I want to be able to remember later who is what. That said, I will be asking you to remind me, like whenever you talk to me, it's sometimes some things happen in the way they happen because you're either on a PC or on a Mac or on a Chromebook. And so you'll need to remind me, you go, remember I'm on a PC or remember I'm on a Mac, right? Because I need to know that, because most of the time Excel is very similar nowadays, but here and there, there's still differences. And you might not find something I'm showing you and you'll have to say, well, but I'm on a whatever and a whatever, and then I'll go show you. Because I'm going to have a PC version open and a Mac version open. And so hopefully I can help you with both options. Okay. Now I'm going to clear your answers. Let me see if I can quickly get a gander at my Mac people are Katie, Justine, Susanna, Al, and Don. Okay, so, and everyone else is mainly a PC effect for Cynthia. All right, I'm gonna clear my feedback. That doesn't mean I'll remember you off the top of my head, but I'll do my best. Second question, how many of you already own Excel, a relatively new version of Excel? And if you even know if it's a new version of Excel, give me a yes. And if you do not own Excel, give me a no. On your computer, right? Like if you have one available for class, give me a no if you don't have it, yes if you have it. Okay, so
no.
Now I'll ask which kind of versions you have, Justine, which is what you're saying. But for now, just tell me yes or no. All right. So Al, what's your story?
Well, my my version of Excel, I got back in the 05, 6, or 7, and I've just kept
using that one.
Um,
Okay, so for the purposes of this class, go ahead and say no then. So
Okay.
if your version is old, and I'll explain why,
Yeah.
because especially when we're all trying to do the same thing, and I'm definitely showing you something that you need to imitate. If you have something that is very different, such as really old version, especially in your case, it's a Mac version because you're a Mac person. The Mac version of Excel from the past is very different from the
Oh, it
current
was a
version of
PC
Excel.
version initially, and it's still.
Yeah. So you have it on a PC. You also have a PC in the background that's old that has the Excel in it.
No, I can.
Oh, you transferred it to Mac.
transfer
Okay.
it to the Mac.
So I'm gonna show you all where to get Excel for free. And you can choose, for those of you who have an old version or don't have it, which is a bunch of you don't have it, where to get it for free. And of those who do have it, which in this case is just Patricia, Ilda, Rini, Arisbel, and Justine are the only, oh, and Jocelyn, you guys have it. Once again, is it an older version, or is it like Justine said, is the school version? Or, and I'll talk about that in a minute, or is it your own or borrowed from work? Like, do you even know how to? Okay, so a couple people are saying, okay, you have Excel 2016, says Rini. 2016 says Jocelyn. Patricia and Hilda, do you know how old is yours? 2010. Okay, so 2010, I'm going to consider you a no, Hilda. Okay, so you go ahead and change yours to no. Same with Lucille. So she already said no. So if you have a 2010 version, say no. If you have 2016 or 2019, that's a yes, although already 2016 has changed some things, but for the most part, you'll be able to figure it out. If you have Office 365, if anyone has Office 365, Patricia?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be using a version of that. Arisbel, what's your version?
I'm not sure what version I have. I'm trying to look at it right now.
Okay, I'll help you figure out in a minute. I'll show you how to find out what your version is, but you were on a PC, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but do you think it's relatively new? Do you just gander, you think, or you think it's been your computer forever and ever? No, you're too young to have been in there forever and ever.
I think it's relatively new. I downloaded it this year.
Okay, so it's either 2019 or 365. Okay, good. So Rini and Jocelyn have the newest versions, which are 2016. And Justine, when you said you're using schools, do you mean through VDI or through the download?
The download. I mean, I got it last year when I was taking one of your courses. So yeah, it's the kind of thing where you have it as long as you're taking courses, right? But if you stop taking them,
that's good.
Have it anymore. But
Cool.
yeah, that's
so what she's saying though, be careful. It's not that you have to actively be taking the course like these 6 weeks and then you're done, or these 20 weeks and then you're done. If you're a student for one class and you've taken this class, you get to use it all year. Okay, so the way you consider yourself a student is a year's worth. So if you downloaded Microsoft Office because you're a student, you use it for the whole year, even if this class is over. Okay, and that's the version that I'm going to show everyone how to download on their own computers. Okay, now it's possible that some of your computers are maybe too old or non-functional, or they're a Chromebook. So Cynthia, for example, if you're on a Chromebook or on a very, very old computer, you might not be able to use this version that you can download for free from school. If that's the case, then you have to use it through VDI, and I'll teach you how to do it through VDI. And VDI is you go onto a browser and you access it online, or not even through VDI. You can just use it online. I'll show you that too. Okay. So by the time we're done, hopefully, I'm looking at the time. Hopefully by the end of this class, everyone is going to have Excel. I know you're like, what? We're not even going to start with Excel? Nope. Setting up the class takes a while. And then after that, we actually start working with Excel. So if you already have Excel right now, you're set. just pay attention for a little bit, but I'm going to show everyone else how to access Excel and get it, because by the end of today, we're all going to be using the online version of Excel. Every one of us is going to have Excel by the end of the next, 20 minutes or so. And then you can download it and install it in your computer on your own between today and tomorrow. And on Wednesday, you can use your own version downloaded from school. So those of you who are Mac or PC, it does not matter. If you have an old version like 2010, definitely I need you to have the newest version. If you have 2016, go ahead and use it. And if you see things that are a little bit too different, then you might want to download this newer version and try using that for the class and see what you prefer. Al, your hand is up, yeah?
Yeah, I just checked my applications, and what I have is LibreOffice version 7.1.4.2.
Yeah. So I'm not going to let you use LibreOffice for the class, but
Yeah.
everything that you learn using Excel, you can apply then for LibreOffice. And so when you go to use LibreOffice, you'll be able to use, so LibreOffice, you guys, is a free version of Office. It's not a free version of Office. They called it the same name. It's a different maker, different everything. But if you go and download, if you go look for LibreOffice, you can download something that is basically gives you Word, Excel, and PowerPoint in versions that are very similar to Word, Office, and PowerPoint, and it's for free. But there's a whole thing with transferring file types and endings and stuff like that that you need to handle, and it's not exactly the same. And of course, for always and ever, as long as there's many other versions, Word and Excel and PowerPoint, the real ones from MS Office, are the ones that are the industry standard. And that when you go to a job that they need you to prove that you know how to use Excel, you need to know Excel, not LibreOffice, because it is a bit different. That said, all of you who have a Mac and you own a Mac, when you buy a Mac, it comes with the program called Numbers, and Numbers is the Mac version of Excel. So once again, once you learn Excel, you'll be able to use Numbers. All of you guys own a Google account because Pipeline is a Google account. So Google has a program called Google Sheets. So once again, once you learn Excel, you'll be able to use Google Sheets. So they are all different versions of spreadsheets, which is what Excel is. And they think the same way. They might appear different. They might be that the buttons on one are here and the buttons on the other are there. But once you know how to use Excel, you'll be able to extrapolate that knowledge and then use Google Sheets or Mac Numbers or LibreOffice, and you'll be able to apply that same knowledge and then look for the right button in whichever that program, whichever place they have it. But always Office has more options than any of those. And when you get into the higher level issues, it might change a little bit more by the time we're doing, Excel 3. There might be some things there that you can do in Excel that you cannot do or do much less of when you're in the other spreadsheet programs. But for the most part, for just about everything we'll do between 1 and 3, you can do in any of these that I've just mentioned. All the others are free. Excel is not. It's the only one that's not free, but it is free for you guys as a student. So let me go show you now. So by the time I'm done, every single person who right now is on a, actually I need to hide, hold on. I need to hide the roster because I can't divulge roster information to the rest of you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and open share my screen. This one, here we go. So this is the screen where I was showing you how to get to the handouts, and it's okay to use any browser. So if you're a Google Chrome user, if you're a Firefox user, if you're a Safari user, go to the browser that you're the most comfortable with. It does not matter for what we're going to do now. That said, I just want to tell people, just on a slight aside, because I care about privacy, that Google Chrome is the most unprivate browser in the world. They track every single breath you take. So if you have a choice to use Firefox for the PC, that's better. If you have a choice to use Safari for the Mac, that's better. I don't really like Microsoft's Edge that much. It's not bad, but it's also not as private. Let's say that the worst of them all is Chrome. That said, most people use Chrome like that's the browser to have. But be aware that every breath you take on that browser is being tracked by something or someone. And you might, if you care about that at all, then there's all these other alternatives. All right. So I'm in Safari right now. We're going to go ahead and go make sure that now those of you who joined us after I did this is because you've been in my classes before. You know how to scooch over. And I'm going to make my window a little bit smaller so it's a bit more like what you have when you have a half a screen. And what we need is to get back into SBCC. So I'm going to create a new tab over here and we're going to write again sbcc.edu. Now, if you want to write pipeline.sbcc.edu, then you go straight to Pipeline. Oh, Justine, you use Firefox. Yeah, you can use Firefox on your Mac, or Safari is the most private one of them all right now. It is the utmost. Apple has made an issue of taking care of privacy, and of all the browsers, it is the most private. But Firefox used to be the most private one. Safari is right now the most private one, because they're making an issue out of it to become better, you know. So of course, by putting all your efforts and energy into it, you end up getting even better than Firefox. I'm sure Firefox is doing its best to up them, but they're both caring about privacy versus Google is like, oh man, I'm not doing anything private. I don't care. I make money off of not being private. So Google Chrome is the least. Okay. Rini, you're using VMView for this class. Okay. So VMView, which is what Rini is saying she's using, is the same thing as what I'm going to tell Cynthia to use for your Chromebook. If you can hang out a little bit after class, Cynthia, I want to tell you a bit more of how you're going to handle this for the Chromebook and get you some links to how to use it once you get your Chromebook. But meanwhile, Rini, you can choose to use VMView, or you can also choose to download for free Office 365. And so I'm going to show you right now how to do that. Okay. So let's head over to Pipeline and sign into Pipeline with your information. Get into Pipeline. So I want you to be doing this with me, everyone. So if you're not doing it with me, I'm going to clear your feedback so that you can raise your hands if you run afoul of my instructions and you get left behind or something like that. Please stop me and ask me. Please interrupt me and tell me, wait, can you repeat that? You know, be very active in your own sakes, telling
mail, Pipeline mail.
Okay, so if you're in mail, when you're in Pipeline mail, it's kind of hard from mail to go back to Pipeline because there's no access to Pipeline from mail. So actually you need to create a new tab and go to SBCC and click into Pipeline first. From mail itself, there's no quick access to Pipeline. Okay, so once you get into Pipeline, let's go back to the good old student that I showed you before and head into student resources. So for those of you who didn't see this portion because you came later because you've used my handouts before, I want you to know that we used to say, there used to be a place here that said student non-credit that is gone. The student non-credit link is gone. So now everyone has to just head to student and then go to student resources. And that takes you to the same place that student non-credit used to get you to. Okay, so it's student and student resources. This is now where the same exact spot, but it just a little extra step. Okay. All right. So now here we're in student resources. Yes, Al?
I'm in Zoom on Safari, and I'd like to get into Pipeline on Safari, but if I
no, that's okay. That Zoom window that you're seeing is not necessary anymore because you're in Zoom, so you don't need that window anymore. So you can just go up to the top and just change it and click in there and write sbcc.edu and get into or open a new tab. You do not need that Zoom window, is just there to get you here, but you're in the class now, so that one you can get rid of now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you who have already an old version, like the people who have 210, you're gonna have to, oh, someone trying to come in? No. I thought I heard a ding, ding. I hear a ding when people are in the waiting room to come in, but I don't see anyone in the waiting room, so, oh well. All right. So over here in Google Drive is where we went to the handouts. Now I'm going to take you down to Microsoft Office, which is way down here. So for those of you who don't want to download Microsoft Office, you can use it online. Okay. And it might be easier than going to VDI, or you might prefer VDI. If Rini, you're very accustomed to VDI, then stay in VDI. I use VDI all the time for all of the Adobe programs for my students. But if you are at all having issues with VDI, you can also use Excel straight from this place without downloading it onto your computer. So what you need to do is you need to sign in. Okay. So in my case, it already knows that this is me, but you need to sign in. This is very important as your pipeline email. Do not do this on a personal level or you won't be able to. You'll have to pay. So put in your username at pipeline.sbcc.edu. As you can see, I wrote it in the chat. Whatever your username at pipeline.sbcc.edu, that's what you need to sign in as. So go ahead and say sign in and stay signed in. So I already put that in there, so I don't need to do it again. But when you do that, it'll take you to the pipeline to show that you are that person. And then say, if you're going to do this a lot, you can just say, don't show this again. So it stays signed in. I'm going to have to always keep it this way because I teach it. So I have to show this again. But if you do that, then you won't have to do the step again and again. Say yes. And now you are in this window. Now, when you're in this window, give me a yes that you made it. Not a thumbs up that I did like, but a yes. Give me a check mark when you get to this window. That means you've signed in as a pipeline student and you are here. And then once you are here, there's two options for you. Okay. So we'll see what the two options are. Yes, Al?
Yeah, I'm in pipeline and there's home and student, and I look at student, there's a drop down menu there.
Yeah, student resources, the second choice.
Resources. Oh, okay. Yeah. And then it.
And then on the far right, go to Microsoft Office 365.
Okay.
Like on the right side where you usually see Google.
Uh-huh.
Right here, down, 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 Microsoft Office 365.
Oh, okay.
Once you click on Microsoft Office 365, it'll ask you to sign in, and you need to use your pipeline email to sign in.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now, I want to see a lot more yeses before I move forward. So if you're here and you haven't said yes, please go to your emoticons and say yes. Otherwise, I need to know that you're not there so I can help you get there.
There it is. Okay.
All right. And Patricia, oh, Patricia, you said you have your own version.
I have the school version.
Okay. Cool. So once you're here, did you get in, Al?
Yeah, it says stay signed in, and I said yes.
Yeah, say yes, and then you should be here. Okay, cool. Now here you got two options, guys. One option, which you will do after class. If the option is that you want to download this onto your computer and install these programs, then over here it says install Office. Now, I'm not going to ask you to do this right now. We have 15 more minutes of class, so you can do this the moment the class is over. And you can then install that program on your computer, Mac or PC, it does not matter. You need to download and follow the instructions to download. But if you don't want to download, maybe your computer's already too full, or you're not sure you want to overwrite another version, or your computer's too old and you don't know if it's going to work well, then right here, we can click on Excel and open up Excel. open a new, so this is what I want everyone to do right now. Click open new blank workbook, and here we go. We are in Excel, only we are using it online. So this might be easier for people to do than to go through the whole VDI process. Okay, so if this is what you want to do, this is enough.
Okay.
The windows are going to be slightly different than the ones that we're going to be using, but it's going to do the job. Okay.
Okay, new blank.
I'll tell you next week how we're going to keep working with this, but this is Excel. You're in. You don't need to download it. You're using on a browser. You're not needing to go through VDI. Plan B, you can go through VDI, and I have recordings telling you how to go through VDI, and that's a virtual desktop interface where you actually sign in and you use the school's VDI. And if this system here gets a bit too complicated, then you know, we can make different choices, and you can then download it, or you can then use VDI. But for the beginning, I think that for most of you guys, this should be fine, unless you're sure that you have a good computer that will do well, and you want to be able to, you know, connect to Office when you're not online all the time. Maybe you want to take your laptop and go to the park to work, then this won't work. For this, you need to be connected to the internet. You need to have a good connection because you're basically online right now using this program. Okay, so once again, if you want to use Excel without downloading the program, you do this that I just said, and you're fine. And this is Excel. When you click over on this little top left icon, you can choose any of the other applications. You can use Word or PowerPoint or whatever, or you can head back to Office 365, and that takes you back to this place where you get to choose again what it is that you're going to be working with. Okay. Now, these files that got created will sit there, and then next time you sign in, it'll have your file that you've been working on. This stays online. These are not on your computer. Now, if you want to install Office, you click on this. So after Office is done, after this class is done in a few minutes, click down here and you will download an installation icon, and it'll be different if you're on a Mac or on a PC. It'll know whatever you're on, it'll know what to give you. And then you need to go and double click on that thing that downloads, go to the downloads folder of your computer, double click on it, and it'll install in your computer. And when it asks you to sign up or sign in to your account to use the application, you have to sign in as yada, yada, yada at pipeline.sbcc.edu, even inside of your computer. Okay. So you need to sign and use that account number. Once you download and you open it, it'll ask you to sign in again to it'll call you your Microsoft account. You need to use your pipeline and say that it is a school account. Okay, and then it'll keep working. And then you can disconnect from the internet. You can take your computer anywhere, and you basically have a version that works supposedly for a whole year. I have not had one of these, so I don't know. At the end of the year, do they ask you to prove again that you're a student or stuff like that? I have to get to that end of that year. So yes, Justine, you seem to have.
I was just going to say, what I understood was that in order to maintain, in order to keep using it, to have it, you have to be enrolled in a class. And I think they let you skip one. Like you can skip a term, but as long as you then enroll in a class the next term. So I've never been quite sure whether they somehow are monitoring it, like, that it'll just automatically go away if I don't, but that's how I understand it.
Here's the thing. Supposedly what keeps it alive is that if you're enrolled, your pipeline is an active account. So what you send to Microsoft Office is your pipeline email. And so what they do is they check if you're an active student. An active student, as I said, really means just taking one class per semester. So even if you took a one-day workshop, that makes you a student, right? And once you're a student, you have to take one class that year either in the spring or in the fall. So if you took only a summer class, summer classes don't count. It needs to be in the fall or in the spring. So say that you take a class right now, which is the fall, but that you don't take anything in the spring. When next fall you want to sign up again, you have to re-enroll as a student, and that keeps you as an active student. If you didn't skip, then you can just keep registering into classes. And since all non-credit classes are free, you basically, all you need to do is take a non-credit class each semester, or at least every other semester, and then you'll maintain your student status, right? So it's not hard to keep your student status live, given that our non-credit classes are so accessible, basically free. All right, so that's what I need you guys to do as homework between here and Wednesday. So you have 2 days to download, click on this, download, install, re-sign, so make sure that Excel is up and running so that next Wednesday at 4:15 p.m. we all sign in at 4:15 p.m. I say open up Excel. Everyone opens up Excel and we start using Excel, no matter what version you have or don't have right now. Okay, so I see a lot of people who said yes. If you are unable to download this, or don't want to, or don't think that it's going to work, then what you're going to do next Wednesday is we're going to go in through Pipeline, Resources, click on Microsoft Office, come over here and click on the Excel right there. That means you do not need to download anything. You're going to click on a new blank workbook and you're going to start working in here. The only problem with this is going to be getting you files that you have to open up, that I have ready for you to open up. Okay, because in this version you're not accessing files that are in your computer. Okay, so when I start having the need for you to use the files that I am sending you, then this might not be enough and I might need to ask you. I'm trying to figure it out. Up until now I had to send people to VDI. If you don't install it on your own computer, then I had to have people use VDI. But there's a chance that what I can do is ask you to upload your files that I give you. You can upload them to OneDrive, which is the Microsoft Office free space, like Google Drive is OneDrive. And so I'll show you how to upload the files that I send you to OneDrive. And then if your files are here, then you'll be able to access them. So over here, you'll click on upload and you'll bring the files that you download from me into here, and then you can open them, stuff like that. So it's a few more steps, but we're gonna wait until we're at that point to deal with this issue, okay? So right now, notice that when I opened up OneDrive, it opened a different tab, and that I can go back here to Excel, and here I have the original one that I told you all to open up. Okay, so is everyone here? Does everyone have Excel opened up online? Even if you have your own version of Excel right now, I just want to make sure that everyone got to this one place. All right, and let me look at your yeses. I think everyone said yes. Anne, I believe, Anne, you said that you had your own. Is that your version, or did I say that you needed? I'm trying to look. I had done a screenshot, and where did my screenshot end up? I thought I had taken a screenshot. Yeah, here it is. Let me see. Where's Anne in the screenshot? You said yes. No, that's my Macro PC. I think I didn't do a screenshot of who has or doesn't have. No, this was the Macro PC screenshot. I don't have, I didn't screenshot who had Excel or not. So let me clean this feedback now. And based on everything that I've just showed you, now I want a future-based answer by Wednesday. What are you going to have? What is your choice? Okay, and the choices are going to be, raise your hand if you will install Office. So that's the first choice. Raise your hand if you're going to install Office. Yes, if using online Excel. And no, I know it sounds weird, but say no if using your own newer version of Excel that you already own. Okay, so if you already own Excel and you're going to use your version, and remember I said you had to have 2016 or 2019 as the oldest, then that's a no. So Arisbel, Jocelyn, and Anne. Yes, if you're going to use it online, like I just showed you, or raised hand for install. So no one's saying yes right now. So no one is seeming to be able to do this. Now, Rini, you mentioned that you're on VDI, and as long as you know how to access VDI, that's fine.
Yes,
or do you want to stay in VDI?
For not to spot these classes, I use VDI, but now so I'm installs the so install Microsoft Office 365.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So if you want to install it, go for that. Then give me a raised hand if you're going to install it. Al, what is your plan? Are you going to install it, or are you going to? Oh, I think Al left the room. Katie, you're going to use this online version that I just showed. So you're going to have to use OneDrive for where to put your files. And Doran, what's your plan? I know you've got a Mac. All right. So as long as everyone has a good plan and knows what they're doing, I will sit here and answer questions of all types and kind, but I won't like teach anything new because we're going to open Excel and I'll start teaching on Wednesday. So if you have any questions about anything I said, or if I told you stay behind and I'll show you something. So if you want, for example, I can show you VDI, Cynthia, or you can use online, you can use it this way on Tuesday. So this thing that I just did is something you can do too. So unless this is you and you have any other questions, I know I said to 2 or 3 people, I'll show you this at the end. Okay. So Doran, you're already installing it. It's 95% installed. Okay, good. I'm sure I told people that.
I downloaded it and it's wanting me to do sign in. I tried to do the pipeline sign in and it's just being like, that doesn't exist.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Like it let me do it for when it was just like doing the online Excel, but when I'm trying to do it from the downloaded version, it's just like, nah.
So you put in your pipeline username and password?
pipeline.sbcc.edu. It doesn't even let me go to a password. It just says that Microsoft account doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're saying this because maybe it needs you to create a new one of your own. So when you try to install it, it's going to ask you to install it. And I assume that it would let you use your pipeline. But what's up is that you don't have your account set up yet. So you need to, instead of sign in, you need to create an account. Does that make sense? So you're going to be asked to create or sign in, and you have to
just use the pipeline thing.
And when you create it, use the pipeline thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. For anyone else, once you download it, maybe you're downloading it now. That way, since we have a few more minutes,
you can't sign up here with a work or school email address. Use a personal email.
Well, go ahead and follow through with that. Put a personal one, but then when it asks you to open the email, it'll ask you, go ahead and put in a personal one. And then try to open Excel. And when you try to open it, it'll ask you to kind of justify. And at that point, you'll have to put in, I believe, the pipeline one. I've installed it so long ago, I don't remember the steps right now. So thank you for doing this on live, so to say. So that I can help troubleshoot. If you're all set and you know what you're going to do and you don't have any questions, you're welcome to sign out and come back on Wednesday. But if you're trying to sign up and you have questions, I'm here to help you through the process.
Thanks, Deanna.
Okay, so
See you
for those of
Wednesday.
you who are fine, I'll see you on Wednesday.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Welcome.
you.
Bye, Rini. Bye, everyone.
See you.
Bye, Katie. Bye, guys. Bye, Patricia. Bye, Hilda.
Bye.
All right, so how's it going, Martin?
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Putting in the
Rini, you had a-
verification code.
May I share about the processes I am installing Office 365 to you?
Yeah. Just, Martin's doing it right now. So by doing it right now, he's kind of shown me what does or doesn't work. And I'm walking him through it. And basically you need to create an account with your personal email. But then has it asked you yet? It sent you an email to your email verification. Is that what you said?
Okay. Also, please stay on and while Office standard. Yes, still waiting about the process. Okay, teacher, see you the next meeting.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so I just put in the verification code and then it says error 500. And like a refresh, it says OneDrive. This item might not exist or is no longer available.
Wow. Okay. What computer do you have?
I have a PC.
And is it relatively newish or?
I made it
extremely
myself
ancient?
like last year.
Okay. Okay. So it's definitely new. Okay. Don't know what's happening.
You see, this is what I was talking about earlier. I'm like, I hope everything works for me because I'm fucking cursed.
Yeah, no. That's fine. I have not gone through this particular process. I've always used VDI for all my classes that I've been teaching. And someone the other day told me, you know what, instead of using VDI, why don't you just have them download the school version? So I said, okay. So for the first time ever, this is the first time I'm doing it with students. And so your problems that you're coming across is the first time I'm not able to, first time I'm seeing it. So it's harder for me to give you support.
Right.
Normally I know the things people are running into. Worst case scenario, you can use it online or you can use VDI, so you'll be fine. But I recommend where I wrote how to get to this SBCC tech support to sometime between here and Wednesday. If you have a chance to click into that Zoom, I will send an email right now with that Zoom link again, so everyone has it handy. And click into that Zoom, get into SBCC tech support and say, hey, I'm downloading the school Office and it's not working. And then they do this every day and they can walk you through the steps. In fact, I don't have a computer to install it on. Otherwise, I should do that too, to run through the problems that people are going to have. So I know, but if they help you and they figure out what's wrong, could you please then tell me, give me feedback, write back to me or something and tell me what it was so that I can help others too. I would appreciate that because I don't know right now, as much as I know just about everything else, I don't know what kind of issue you're going to come across to give you support. But if they'll be able to help you because that's what they do. That's their thing.
Right.
And
I'm
there's
not gonna
someone
have the
there
opportunity to
all
do
the
that until
time.
tomorrow, but I will definitely
fine.
look into that tomorrow.
They're there 9:30 to 8 p.m. 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day except for Friday. So hopefully any little minute that you can connect, then let me know. If it doesn't work for any particular reason, let me know, because if it's not working for you, it's probably not working for someone else. And then I'll send an email to people and then we'll just use the online version next
Right.
week, or I'll just tell everyone how to use VDI, which is what I've done every time I've taught this. I just thought this might be simpler. But if
Right.
not, I'll just revert to VDI and it'll work for you. It'll work for everyone on VDI. Okay.
Just to make sure that I'm able to contact you, when you sent out like the welcome to Excel 1
Yeah.
email earlier in the
Mhm.
week, today I sent a reply to it. I'm not certain if you
Yeah,
got it. It was
you
basically
sent
me
it.
asking.
I got it. You
Okay.
wrote to me when I was teaching. I teach 2 classes on Monday, and you
All right.
wrote to me when I was teaching. And then as you can see, the answer was long. and I'm not about to write the whole process on an email. So the answer would have been wait till
that's
class.
entirely fine. I just wanted to make sure that like, okay, I am actually
got it.
able to email
I
you.
was just teaching all day. Today I have a full day of classes. And so I just figured, well, I'll
Yeah, I
just tell
got you.
them
I
class.
got you.
So
All right. Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes when something is, or I have to deal with people who have urgent questions, and I deal with those, and I knew that I was going to get around to it in class. And so I'm sorry I didn't even say no time to answer.
All
My
good.
Mondays
Yeah.
and
All right.
Wednesdays are hectic.
I will do what I can to
Great.
figure out what I can tomorrow and get back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Take care then.
All right.
Al.
Take it easy.
Bye. So Al, what's up? Are you going to try to download it, or are you going to use the online version? I was showing people how to download it.
I'm going to try and download it from
Oh, cool,
Pipeline.
Doran, it worked for you. All right.
Yeah.
So did you see the process to downloading it?
No, in the last 10 minutes, I've been rushing around here. Somebody was delivering a bed. And
I
just
noticed that. I'm sorry. I noticed that you weren't there. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to say that when you click on Microsoft Office, that's kind of where I left you.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
you need to do is to get to back here to home. Hold on. You're gonna get to this place here.
Yeah, now I'm
And
back
then
at
here you
student,
can
and I go to student resources,
student resources. Now click on Microsoft Office.
it says registration. Oh, okay, student resources. Says registration, my class schedule, my SBCC.
Resources, student resources. And on
Yeah.
the far right, go to, and I'm showing you, go on the far right, go to, if you see my screen still, down here.
Yeah.
Normally go to Google, Doc, go to Microsoft Office 365.
Oh,
Click on that.
okay.
You had
Yeah,
done this step, you had signed in.
yeah, and
It asks you to sign
I've
in.
got like split screen.
okay.
And now I have, there we go. Then I go to
And then you end up in this. Well, not
Microsoft.
in this one, and then here you can right click on install Office and download Office 365.
Okay, let me see. I've got name, book one, book.
Cynthia, let me talk for a second to Cynthia, who's asking me if I
Okay.
still need you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, so do you think you'll have the Chromebook by Wednesday?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm gonna try to get it tomorrow, but I was gonna,
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get it by tomorrow.
Okay, so if you think you have a chance to get it tomorrow, then see if you can get to this point where you use Excel or just directly from Pipeline, like I showed you here. And if at some point I need you to actually download stuff, then I'll show you how to do it in VDI, but this should be easier. I think that for now, this will, unless it's a little bit different, but unless it's too different, if I'm finding that it's too different, then for people who are using this version, I'll teach them how to do it on VDI, but this should work for Wednesday, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now,
I'll send you an email with a link on how to get into this place. All right.
Thank you. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Bye. You're welcome.
Now,
Bye,
do
Cynthia.
I hit upload there? I've got book one and book XLS. Upload.
No, you don't need to upload anything here. You need to download
Uh-huh.
and install in your computer
Yeah.
the Excel, Office, and
Yeah.
OneDrive
And
all that.
I'm looking at your thing and it says Al Sladig, my files, recent, shared, recycle bin. And then it's got new upload, sync,
This
and
stuff
automate.
here. You might
No,
want to, do you know how to share your screen with me? I don't know what you're looking at.
Okay, yeah, let me, there, okay.
Let me stop my share and you tell me where you're at, because I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Bye, Doran. Thank you.
you see it there?
No, you need to do a share your screen and then one more step. There's a second button on the bottom right that says share that you need to click.
Oh,
then one more.
okay. Okay, because I'm split screen here, so I'm missing some of the screen.
I'm not, you didn't complete the share screen yet. I need to,
Yeah,
it's 2
on the
steps.
bottom right there, it
Yeah,
says,
first you click the big share screen button, the green one.
yeah, I
And
did that.
then there's another on the bottom right of that new window that pops up. There's another button that says share. It's blue and white letters.
Oh, okay, yeah, it didn't go
There we
through
go.
the first
Okay,
time.
now I can see your screen. Okay,
Okay.
cool. So now let's
Want me
see.
to expand
Move it
that?
over a little bit more because I'm not seeing the left side. Not so much expand, but I need to see the left side. Can you move it from the top over? Yeah, so actually unexpand it now.
Oh, okay.
Make it small again.
Okay.
Because I need to see the left side. So bring that all the way in and then move it over. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
So you ended up in OneDrive. Okay. So when you got here to OneDrive, go up to where it says Microsoft Office Home, the tab right above your mouse, move it straight up. Straight up, move your mouse straight up. Straight up, and now to the right. Yeah, one more there. Microsoft Office Home, that one. Click on that one.
That says chat.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you must have Zoom in the way.
Yeah.
Move the Zoom chat out of the way.
Okay.
Can you do
Okay.
that?
Yeah, and then up there it says Sequoia, Microsoft
There,
Office.
Microsoft
Home.
Office
Yeah.
Home. There, perfect. Okay. So now, on the far right of this window, you see how it says install Office. You might have Zoom in the way, but move to the right. Down, down, no, down, right down, an inch down. Okay, right there. You're almost there. Move up now, like 1/4 of an inch. And now up to the right. Do you see install Office? There. Click
Yeah.
on that. And then say, oh, you clicked in a way that it gave you a dictionary for the word install instead. Click, there we go. And now download the top choice. Yeah, click on install Office 365. There you go.
Oh,
And now do you want to allow? Say allow to download down. Yep, say allow. Mhm.
okay.
And now it's downloading. Okay.
And
And when it's done downloading, you'll be able to
I'll have
to install
Microsoft
Office.
365 on, and this is
See how
good
the little point three says, let me actually do a screenshot of this, that once you download this, it says sign in to activate Office, sign in with the account you used for Office 365, Athletic Pipeline, SBC.edu. Okay, so you're going to need to sign in as that.
Okay, yeah. It's A slating, not L slating. Yeah.
Athletic, it doesn't do the whole. All right, so as you can see, it's still downloading. So you can close this because it's downloading, so you're probably fine.
Okay, so
We'll just wait it until it finishes downloading. You see the little link downstairs.
okay. Does it download that fast? I thought it was.
No, you see, look at your dock near the trash, down by the trash. See there, see how
okay.
it's still downloading? That little
yeah,
icon
but it's
there
supposed to end.
is working its way through. Go ahead and click on that icon and you'll see it. It'll pop up and say open in Finder right there. No, it's not done yet, so you can't do that. Yeah, so okay, so you got it. There it is, and it's okay.
Okay.
Go back, go to the window that you opened. Go to the window that you opened. It's almost done. Like your
this
6th or
one here.
7th. Forget that. Yeah. Go to this window that you've already opened, and there he goes. Boom! It just finished downloading. Now go down to the folder and click. Go down to the same folder I just told you to click because it just finished downloading. Click on that. And now go to Microsoft Installer Package, that little box. The box, yeah, click on that. Yeah. And now you will be guided through. So say continue.
Okay.
And continue. Agree. And install.
Okay. And then.
And this is your computer password.
That's my computer password.
That's the one you use to open your computer, yeah. So watch why it happens. I'm doing this with you and I'm still recording it, which is good because then I'll be able to let people watch the little ending of this if they need to install,
Oh,
and they'll see how you're
okay.
doing it. So,
Yeah, it says 11 minutes. It
oh, it
goes
usually takes
faster
less than that. It
yeah.
usually goes faster than that. Yeah. But if it's gonna see now it went
Oh,
down to
3
3. Yeah. I never believe those numbers. It tends to,
No.
they start long and then they just go faster and faster. I mean, sometimes it's
Well-
still around, but for the most part, it tends to be much less. And I'll just cut this little part of the recording or something later, but I don't have all the videos that I have. I don't have a video of installing Office because since mine is already installed,
Oh,
Right.
then you can't get it. Yeah.
it's hard to do a recording of installing it. So I'm going to use yours.
Oh, good.
Now, this is on a Mac, which is different than on a PC, but it's very similar.
Uh-huh.
This part, the computer does the installation. You have very little,
Yeah.
little of your own core choice. All right, almost there. This last minute might actually be a real minute. It needs to check that
Yeah.
everything is working. Check for a second. I've noticed a flurry of text coming through with my family. I'm hoping everyone is okay and doesn't need it rides and things. Yeah,
One,
with the rain, people got rides to school.
one busy lady.
Let's see.
Okay, then I click close there.
Perfect. Go ahead and hit close. Do you
Okay.
want to move the installer to the trash? Yes, move the installer. You don't need it anymore. Move it to the trash. And yay, that was
Oh.
successful. Now, say okay to that.
Okay.
And hold on. It's gonna check on stuff first,
Laptop.
right? So click on that.
Click on that. Check.
Yeah, although you already checked, so no, you're done.
Yeah.
So you can close that. So you can go up to the top Microsoft update and close that. Yeah, okay. So now, when they first installed, now you're done. You can close this. Now you can go down to your go up to your search or whichever way you open applications. Go up to the top spotlight and search for Excel. Click on write Excel.
Spotlight is.
Yeah, where you were. Yeah, one to the right, one icon to the right.
Oh,
That
okay.
one, spotlight search and write Excel.
Excel.
And let's see what versions of Excel it finds. Okay, so it looks like that one. Click on it,
Okay.
double click.
Oh.
And it's opening up. Because now when it opens up, it's going to ask you to set up so it's bouncing up and down in your dock. Get started
Okay.
with Office, sign in or create account down at the bottom. Yeah, the blue button.
This one.
Next. Yes or no. Choose
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Send
out.
data about crashes and stuff. I usually say no, but you need to choose one.
Okay.
I don't know.
No.
Say accept. And then done. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Blank.
Yeah, it's not asking you to sign in. Click on blank workbook.
Okay.
Double click to open up. It's not even asking you to sign in. There you go. It's ready to go. It's working. Interesting.
I signed in before.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Activate Office. Oh, see, activate to create and edit. See on the far right of that yellow bar, click on activate. Yeah. And now it's going to say already bought Office, sign in. So
Okay.
bottom choice.
Oh.
That's when you need to sign in. Okay, so now's when you use your Asletic pipeline.
Okay.
Oh, you got 2 L's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Line.
L-I-N-E. I'm having a problem of it. I don't know why.
L-I-N-E.
I'm typing
Oh, the
L-I-N-E
N.
and
The N
is
isn't
not-
how. Oh, funny.
Oh, yeah. And I had trouble. I was on YouTube earlier and I couldn't get, and the,
It's
it
like
was
you
the
have.
N that was messed up there. So maybe,
Huh. Maybe you have a crumb or something under your N. The N isn't working. That's not going to help.
yeah, I think
I
there's
really wanted to
something
see the
wrong.
end of this. I wanted to see this work.
Yeah, me too. Enter val, no,
Can you go and copy the word? Can you copy the word pipeline from somewhere else? Can you write it in? Because you
okay.
can always copy paste, but if you can't write it, where can you copy it from? Huh? Here, I have an idea. Go to the chat. I'm gonna put your email. I'm gonna say pipeline.svcc.edu. I've sent that to you. Can you copy those 3 little? So go to the chat where I just wrote pipeline.svcc.edu. Go to the Zoom chat.
And then
Click on the Zoom chat. And then where I wrote pipe, leave this where it is. Can you click on Zoom and see the Zoom window or not? Is it too hidden?
the
Because you
Zoom
can
window,
paste in the word pipeline. I don't know if you can see it because you've got all of that in the way. So what are you going to do without the N?
yeah.
You can't copy that there. You have to go to see the chat that I just wrote. I just wrote something to you.
Yeah.
Do you see this?
I
Do
see
you
it
see this?
there.
I just wrote. Do you see this? Okay.
Yeah.
If you see that, then go to the word that I just wrote, hover over it, and where it says pipeline.svcc.edu, there's 3 little dots. Click on that and say copy.
Okay. So I copied that. Now,
Now come in here.
and here,
And then you have to click in there and get rid of the pipeline that you wrote and paste. So click in there, delete. No, I didn't write the Asletic, so you'll have to write that again. Okay, never mind. And now say Command V for paste. Command and then V for vase or Victor. Hold down the command and type the V for Victor. There it is. Now say next. This is what they were saying. This is what Martin was saying wasn't working. So go to create one. Then
is
down
that
underneath.
capital P?
Go ahead and copy your entire email because you won't be able to write it again. Copy that whole thing. And keep it copied so that next time you have to write it, you can do it. So do a command C to copy it, or yeah, command C, and that copies it. Now go down to create one. See, this is exactly what Martin said was happening to him. So it's not going to work. They were clear saying that you needed to sign in with your personal. So put in your personal email. Let's see if that's a workaround, but I don't.
Now my personal email is just Al Slatic at gmail.com, and then.
But you didn't write Gmail. Check. It says Gmail.
Okay. Gmail.com.
Try that.
There is already a Microsoft account.
Oh, so then why don't you let you use that one? Oh, because you already have an account. I don't know the answer to this one. Martin had the same question. Supposedly you have to use your pipeline account, but
Yeah,
both of you got something saying that you don't have to. Now you already have obviously a Microsoft account and it's telling you to use a different one. I don't know the answer to this. I'm gonna have to ask the tech support people myself what to tell you guys, because
okay.
I just used the pipeline account and it worked for me. But clearly it's not for you, so it might happen to the rest of the class. So I'm gonna have to find out what the answer is for the school's software. So I don't know the answer, so maybe just hang out and wait until I send an email saying what the answer to this is, or what I told Martin to do is if you have a chance to get onto the Zoom for SBCC tech support,
Uh-huh.
and
They're open till
And
8
then-
o'clock tonight?
they're open till 8, yeah. So why don't you click on that link?
Uh-huh.
And there, I sent the info again. Copy that link, or I'll email it right now, or I've emailed it before. Copy this whole thing onto something, and then you can click on that, or I'll email it right now. Right now after I hang up with you, I'll email it to everyone so that you'll have the link. And then check in with them and show them, leave this where it is, and tell them I
Okay.
tried to use the pipeline one, and now I'm trying this one and it's not working. What should I be doing? Because, and then
Uh-huh.
if you can email me back and tell me what the solution is, because I don't know. This to me sounds like what you should be doing.
Now,
Okay.
their email is in the chat here, right? So,
Yeah, you don't need to email. You need to click on that link to get to their Zoom, but the problem is that you're in this one. So try clicking on it, see if it gives you if it says you need to leave this one. If that works, then it might let you go into that one. So you see in the chat how I wrote to join the IT support, click on this thing. If you
Uh-huh.
click on it, does it say something like you're gonna have to leave this one? Go ahead and say allow.
Okay.
Click on allow, and it might tell you, and if you just drop out,
Gonna
then
do-
that's fine.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and say lunch meeting,
Watch me.
and it'll probably, okay, say allow. Maybe it's not letting you because you're in the middle of this class. Okay, so go ahead and wait. I'm going to just disconnect from this one. I'll close up. And then
Okay.
you say lunch meeting and it should work. And if not, check your email, because in about 5 to 10 minutes, I'll send an email with this information for everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Then I just want to leave here.
Yeah, Doran has a question. Drag Excel newly opened page into the dock bar of the MacBook Pro or the screen. You don't. You can minimize it for now, but you can't drag the page there. You can drag the file to the dock bar. Okay, but you can't drag the file. You can't drag the page to the bar. You need to grab the file that you created. If it's been saved, it's somewhere, and then just drag it and put it right next to where the trash, not to the area where there's icons for applications, but on the right side where the minimized goes, right next to the trash. That's where you can drag the file to, and that'll give you quick access to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to go and write the email. Bye, Doran. Take care.